In Game 2, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander led one of the greatest offensive playoff performances we've ever seen. After struggling with their late game offense in Game 1, the Thunder completely picked apart the Nuggets' help defense and exposed them. When you go back and look at Game 1, the Thunder's offense truly struggled when Shai was on the floor, only posting a 100 free offensive rating. The Nuggets were insistent on making sure that Shai would not be able to break the free throw line, hard hedging, hard help from the nail, blitzing. They did all they could to make sure Shai wasn't comfortable creating. And for the most part, Denver's plan worked. Shai was late on these passes, he was not comfortable as a scorer, resulting into some dry late game offense where the Thunder relied on long closeouts and long jump shots. Denver completely disrespected most of the Thunder's offensive players and were so insistent on playing this aggressive style. Now the obvious question is what changed so much in Game 2? And the answer is Shai's mentality. Now a big point of emphasis when teams help a lot is to attack the middle of the floor, and that's what the Thunder do exactly here. Shai comes off the ball screen, and because they don't want him to go one-on-one, they immediately double him. So Shai gets the ball to the middle of the floor, Jokic steps up, and now Hartenstein gets an easy dunk created off of Shai's gravity. On this play, Hartenstein sets a screen in early offense to try to get a switch on Jokic. Shai takes these elongated steps to the baseline, so now Christian Braun has to chase him, drawing 2 on the ball. Now Hartenstein's in the middle, and Jokic can recover for an easy floater. This time, Shai tries to get a pull-up free off the screen from J-Will, but once Christian Braun dies on the screen, Aaron Gordon immediately steps up. This leaves Chet a good look, but he decides to pass it up. But again, look at this play and how heavily Denver's loading up against Shai. Jokic is already trying to get back to the paint, so Shai just passes it back to Chet for another open free. This play, Shai is trying to find his own downhill, but again, look how aggressive Denver's playing Shai. Jokic is in the middle, just playing safety. Shai still gets past his initial defender, past the dig on Jokic, and draws a foul on the help defender Braun. You'll see how hard they're selling out being a common theme. Shai tries to get MPJ involved in action, but Jokic is here just guarding the middle of the floor so Shai cannot score, so this leaves J-Will wide open for free. Now this time OKC decides to set up a bit early. Here, Jokic and MPJ still help early to prevent any driving lane, but Shai just finds enough of a crease, and that's why he's the best scorer in basketball, hitting this long bump midi. Whenever Denver couldn't set up their help defense in time, Shai just sped through in transition, and this is just beautiful body control and touch by the best scorer in the league. Now Denver does this thing where they put Jokic on a guard, in this case Dort, to try to get him out to pick and roll. Now Mark calls for Dort to screen to get Jokic into action, and it completely collapsed, and it's comical how the Nuggets would rather give him an open free than let Shai play off of a switch. Now again, the Thunder play early offense, and you can see again Jokic just zoning up in the middle and leaving Dort wide open for another good look from free. Now this time, Jokic is back to defending the big, so the Thunder go back to the Shai Hartenstein pick and roll. Look how far Jokic comes up to make sure Shai doesn't get any momentum or space. Now what Shai does after he resets this is truly ridiculous. He's done this hanging pull-up mid-range a few times this season. I'll never understand how he finds the balance. Now this time, the Thunder use a guard screen from Kaysen, and Shai splits whatever gap he gets inside the middle of the floor, gets MPJ jumping, and gets a good rim look for Dort, which he gets fouled on. And up to this point in the first quarter, Shai is creating everything for this Thunder team. I mean, the Nuggets are so scared to even give one-on-one look for Shai. The Thunder's best shooter here, Isaiah Joe, comes here for a ghost screen, and they completely ignore him, just so they can put 2 on the ball for Shai, and leave a 42% shooter wide open. Every single time that Shai starts to get some momentum on a drive, the Nuggets are going to help immediately at the nail. This time Shai starts driving, Murray helps at the nail, and Dort gets another wide open free. Now notice, every single time that Shai gets the ball, there's someone in the middle of the floor playing safety. In this case it's Westbrook, but it doesn't matter because Shai's playing against a flat-footed defender, and he has that step back free in his bag any single time. I truly don't know how many players in the league would be able to have an efficient game against the coverages Shai is seeing, let alone the game that he had. This time Christian Braun's playing safety, just playing in the middle of the floor, tracking wherever Shai's going, and Shai completely finds the open man, Aaron Wiggins, in the corner. And how many open threes has Shai generated so far in this game? And somehow, someway, Shai was able to finish a lob in this game. You know how some of the greats like LeBron, Curry, Jordan, no matter what coverages you put at them, they're still going to find a way to get theirs? It's kind of like that with Shai in the mid-range. Here, he's completely bumping Nikola Jokic off the spot, shooting off balance off the help defender Christian Braun, and still hits it. Another play where the Thunder just get to play 4-on-3 on offense. Here Hartenstein sets a screen, no one else to step up because Jokic is in the middle, just misses it. The Nuggets have now allowed 85 points because Shai's picking them apart. They're still setting ball pressure, Shai just gets a one pass away, and now Chet just draws a foul off a rush closeout by Peyton Watson to end the shot clock. I've said it for a while, once Shai learns how to bait defenders to play make for his teammates, that's when he hits the next level, because his scoring gravity is second to none. Last year against the Mavericks in the playoffs, I think Shai figured out how to be continuously aggressive as a scorer. I think this postseason he might be finding ways to stay aggressive as a playmaker. The very few times the Nuggets weren't able to send a full house on Shai immediately, it looks something like this, where he's just able to get wherever he wants. Shai's ability to quickly process how he's being guarded is unreal. I mean, Jokic cuts him off and he just quickly two-steps his way to the rim. Now the Nuggets are going back to blitzing, and how many times have we seen Shai get the ball to the middle of the floor and a double big to finish it off? Anytime Denver could not set up their help, it was hilarious to see how lost Denver defenders looked. Here's Shai's step back midi against Aaron Gordon and he's completely lost. And you cannot let up for 1 second against this guy. Murray and Jokic started communicating about the defense, and Shai realizes that, so he immediately bursts his way to the rim for an easy foul. Shai finished the game with a plus 51 plus minus, the best in NBA playoff history, while playing 90% of his minutes against Nikola Jokic. I want people to truly understand how insane this performance was. When Shai was on the floor, the Thunder had a 170 offensive rating, which was by far the best mark in NBA playoff history among players who played more than 30 minutes. Shai created at least 20 shots for his teammates and only turned over the ball once. How many players in league history can do that? To play make at such a high volume, yet only turn the ball over once, while being an aggressive scorer. What Shai is doing might not put the crazy box score numbers up. It might not give you the 50-point triple-double, but I promise you, there's a reason why every advanced analytic tells you that Shai is being one of the greatest players of all time this season. Now the last question left is, what does Denver do in Game 3? And I truly don't know. They don't really have the ball containment like Dallas to really take him away from the rim, but at the same time that's probably their best bet. They probably put less pressure on Shai initially and try to see if he can just beat them on long middies all game, to see if him slowing down the game offensively can mess up the Thunder's offense. If you guys like this type of content, let me know. I'll be trying to make a breakdown after every single playoff game. If you have any Thunder related questions or any questions pertaining to the series, let me know and I'll be happy to respond to them in the comments. If you guys are still listening, thank you, and Thunder up.